Hi, I'm Francesco Rulli, the CEO of Puerlo. I'm here today with Khaled Ismail. Professionally, he will explain more, but he's the Vice President of Communication for Tetra Pak Middle East. He's also the Chairman of the Marketing Society and my personal mentor for my ventures in the Middle East that we met a few years ago. So Khaled, if you can actually expand a little bit more about your professional life.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that. And thank you, Francesco, for having me with you. Again, like you said, Khaled Ismail is my name. I have been with Tetra Pak for almost 18 years. I'm the Vice President Communications for Europe, Central Asia, Middle East, and Africa. It's been a great journey for me. But also, I'm also the Chairman of the Marketing Society in the Middle East. And that's also been a fantastic opportunity to engage with lots of marketeers and business people in the region. So yes, definitely looking forward to this interview with you.
Thank you, Khaled. So I would like to hear from you, what are your thoughts about the COVID era? I like to refer also to the post-COVID era, but what are your thoughts about the challenges and also the opportunities of this new reality that we're living in?
Where do we start? Incredible. I think we're all facing this at the same level of intensity. We've learned a lot of lessons. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. We've learned about our personal patience, being quarantined and locked down. So how much patience can we as individuals and professionals and businesses withstand? We've learned about the importance of social interaction, because when we start separating from each other, and the importance in that in business, but also in personal life. I think one of the things that made me realize that a lot of our risk assessment that we've done before and crisis management is not comparable to what we're now learning as we go along. So I find that fascinating, that the level of understanding of what a crisis looks like, because I look after our crisis management within Tetra Pak, our reputation, and these are things that are formed in crises like these. So I think it's something to reflect on and learn a lot from. I think one of the other things that's businesses pivoting and changing business models so quickly, the adaptability is incredible. You see companies that have not had an e-commerce within 3 weeks. Now they have an e-commerce platform with the AI and all the gadgets that comes with it. That speed, that would have probably taken months and weeks and years actually to come together. And I think one of the last things that I would say we've learned from is that we've all discovered that we're very good cooks at home. So for me, that's something that, made me realize that I can't be self-sufficient if I'm stuck for 2 months in a lockdown. So that's what I've learned from it. Now, when it comes to some of the opportunities that I see, when you ask that question again, there's lots of things that we see around us. Again, I mentioned e-commerce. One of the things I was reading the other day is that we have the growth of e-commerce in the last 3 months is equal to what was anticipated in 10 years. So e-commerce is an incredible piece of opportunity for every single business. And I think that's something that we need to reflect on. The other one that I see a huge opportunity, and then of course my children go to school, universities, and I have friends that have kids go to school, e-learning, education, the education system. Before I remember when someone said, I have a correspondence degree, you thought, how impressive is that? I think now people take that a bit more seriously with a pinch of salt, that this is reality. So education is a huge opportunity because it's easy. You could be in Japan, where you are right now in Toronto. I'm in Toronto, you're in New York, and you could be teaching me something, and it's normal now. And I think the other thing that's interesting for us is to look at how robotics was a thing of factories in the back end. Right now, it's part of our lives because it actually engineered the way we live in a fast-paced way. And the last one, just reflecting on conversations I've had with my daughter who's looking to look at health and being a doctor, but health is going to be something done again in a very much of a digital way. You're going to start looking at how you're doing just by maybe taking a poke of an app or whatever. So these are the things that kind of reflect on some of the opportunities we see in health, in robotics, e-commerce, and of course, education.
Thank you, Khaled. So you were talking about, you mentioned artificial intelligence. You're one of the pioneers of the use of a conversational artificial intelligence with your marketing practice for the events that you run in Dubai. Already over 3 years ago, you were using chatbots. Can you tell us what your thoughts about the use of artificial intelligence in this new era?
You know, artificial intelligence is a black box. It has been a black box because nobody knows what it actually is. And when you decipher it a little bit, it's basically a set of data, sophisticated data put together by an algorithm. Again, that's where the black box comes in, and make it useful for me and you and your companies and your businesses to make useful information from. So that's for me what AI. I'm not a digital person. I appreciate that this is something that's going to change our world. In fact, we can see it's changing our world as we speak. There are some good things and some bad things with it. So let's start with the good things. The good things is to do with predictive stuff, machine learning. So if I used some examples. If I am going to find that there's a fault in something, like video games, if I'm going to phase one of the game, I know that if I'm going to go down this channel, it will kill me, it will destroy me. I will go the next place. Machines will learn that much faster than us, and it will execute this much faster than us. So that's the first thing that I'm going to come to it from a business sense, the predictive part. The second one for me is I'm going to do this consistently. There's no mood swings, there's no arguments, there's no personality conflicts. I'm going to get this job done and get it done efficiently and consistently. So there's the absolutely huge efficiency aspect to it. And then, of course, there's the deep learning of it, is that it's like a puzzle. I looked at it and I was reading a little bit about it and how beautiful this thing can come together. It's a big puzzle, but how do you put a puzzle together? You start looking at, maybe I'll take the corners, maybe I separate them by colors. And the computer captures this information much faster than us and solves problem much faster than us. And that's the deep learning part for me. So there's a huge opportunity for us to learn more about what this AI first, and how can we apply it in our businesses. And the second for me, when I looked at it further and having been looking at it from a business point of view, is the cost efficiency that it does. So if in our business, for example, in Tetra Pak, predictive maintenance is a huge piece. We deal with tanks of milk of 10,000 liters. If a machine goes down, you just wasted your profit for the month. So if I know that the machine is about to go down through AI and machine learning, I'll fix it before it goes down. So there's a huge opportunity from a business point of view, and I'm referring to our business. The part that scares me is if AI becomes more intelligent, because it has no empathy, it has no values, it has no set of principles. It could make decisions that does not necessarily agree with how you and I would make a decision. And that's the scary part, because I can see it advancing very, very quickly. And I'm talking now maybe defense, maybe we're talking about things that are beyond the actual business aspect, but it impacts us as human beings. It could make a decision to fire 100 people tomorrow, but there is no empathy in that. So there is a scary part to it. Whilst we know we can control it, sometimes it's scary. It may start controlling our decisions as well. So there's good sides and bad sides. Again, they're a very crude way of describing what AI means to me, but it's an extremely powerful piece of technology that we're not definitely going to go away anytime soon. It's going to actually grow and be part of our lives.
So talking about empathy, can you tell us more about your book and how you based your journey in What Tickles Me?
Well, again, back to being empathetic and observant of our world around us. One of the things that I started writing about things that make me reflect. I call it, This Is What Tickles Me. In fact, I have a copy of the book right here. And what it is just reflecting on how we think as individuals and how we learn from them. So it's really, what tickles me is both something that annoys me a little bit in a nice way, but also things, aha moments for me. So this obviously adds to a lot of the learning that we're picking up as we go along. And hopefully this book, if someone picks up and reads it, will learn what I've learned over the 30 years of my career as well.
Where can we find this book?
It's all over. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all over. Just Google it, you'll find it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Khaled. Very appreciated.
My pleasure.